Today is World Book Day. Over the course of the past few weeks, many of you have remarked to me how much you're enjoying European Union law and how you might want to carry forward your interest in European Union law in the future. I'm sure at the moment you're probably focused on forthcoming assessments, etc. However, if you do wish to carry on your interest in European Union law beyond the end of this semester, then I thought I would recommend a couple of books that aren't quite law books in the conventional sense that you might find of interest as this semester ends. The first is this book, And Then What, by Catherine Ashton, Baroness Ashton. This really is a fascinating book and most definitely not a law book. It's kind of a memoir, but it's not a long life memoir as you get. Instead, it's accounts of Baroness Ashton's time as the first High Representative for the Common Foreign and Security Policy. It gives you a really interesting insight into the way that the Common Foreign Security Policy is carried out and how it developed in the period immediately following the Lisbon Treaty. Some really interesting stories, some interesting times, some interesting examples. I'll be honest, I didn't expect to enjoy this book as much as I did. However, it ended up being an absolutely gripping read, and I read it, in a day or two. So I would really recommend this as an insight into the way that the Common Foreign Security Policy operates, the role that the EU plays on the world stage from a very kind of practical perspective. The second is more of a law book, albeit it's not a law textbook or anything. It's called The Brussels Effect by a woman called Anu Bradford. Now, Anu Bradford is a professor of law at Columbia University in New York, which gives you an idea of the global reach of EU law. And in this book, it's also actually about the EU's role on the world stage, but not so much the geopolitical stage, instead in the legal and regulatory stage. Professor Bradford seeks to explain how the EU has acquired its role as the global regulator and how so much of the way that international commerce and goods and services is regulated is based upon the EU's global regulatory power as compared to, say, the United States, China, etc. So another fascinating read. So both of these are excellent books, probably not the lightest of books, but they were absolutely fascinating if you do want to build an interest, build your interest in European Union law beyond what we've been able to cover during the semester.